What if, one day, the church bell you hear every morning suddenly fell silent? Would you even notice? There was a man who rang that bell for 40 years. No paycheck, no recognition, just to remind his town to remember God. This is the story of Mr. Thomas, the bell ringer, who quietly held up a whole parish's faith. Mr. Thomas lived alone in a small cottage behind St. Mary's Church. Every morning, before the sun rose, he would light a candle before the statue of the Virgin Mary and walk slowly to the bell tower. He wasn't a preacher. He didn't give speeches. But he lived his faith like a silent homily. Once, during a heavy snowstorm, when the town was shut down, people thought he'd skipped that morning. But at exactly 5 a.m., the bell rang. A young man once asked him, "Why do you do this every day? What do you get out of it?" Mr. Thomas smiled gently, his eyes tired but kind. "So the Lord hears me each morning. And I remember He's waiting for me." When he turned 78, his heart condition worsened. He could barely walk, and the bell stopped ringing. A week later, the pastor went to visit. Mr. Thomas, frail and weak, held his hand and whispered, "I rang that bell half my life. Now it's time for silence. To hear God's voice calling me home." That night, he passed away, but the next morning, at 5 a.m., the bell rang again. No one knows how. One parishioner said, "I stepped outside and looked at the bell tower. No one was there. But I believe it was a bell from heaven." Faith doesn't need to be loud. One old man ringing a bell each morning may be the reason an entire parish remembers to pray. A simple life, lived for God, is never meaningless. Are you living your life like a bell, quietly waking up faith in yourself and in others?